All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 772 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And today, we're going to talk about Zac Robinson and Desmond Ridder, our new OC of the Falcons, and he's our quarterback for the Falcons, Desmond Ridder. Now, I already know that there's been a lot of talks of the quarterback situation in Atlanta. I talk about it extensively. I just did a video about it. What happens if Justin Fields is going to be staying with the Bears? Do the Falcons move up? What are they going to do? Now, for my take, I still like to think the Falcons are going to get a quarterback somewhere in the draft. I think they're going to probably move up and get one, to be honest, at this point. I've heard a lot of rumblings about them, how aggressive they're thinking about being. Also, I've also heard that they may try to get, more than one quarterback in some case. So, especially they don't know if they're going to do what they're going to do with Taylor Heineke. They don't know what they're going to do with, Desmond Ridder. So, I got a question. Can Ridder be a work in progress for Zac Robinson? Because I think that there's a lot to salvage here. And I mean, I don't think that he's going to be QB1. I don't think that, any of that nature, especially for this year. But it's something that they could work towards down the line, like where he could be valuable enough to be at the most, trade value for somebody, or possibly a QB1 again. We're going to talk about all that and give you my thoughts and opinions. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. Also, I am on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. On the Spotify and Rumble angle, if you want to just watch the show, you can watch it on Spotify or on Rumble. That's where the video version of the podcast is. The audio side is on YouTube and Apple. So I appreciate everybody who's been listening to any of those platforms. You guys are absolutely awesome. If you want to check me out on X, is at VF Baller. The website is firstandframerates.com. And also, if you want to, donate to the show, CashApp is VF Baller 20, and the PayPal link is also below. All that information is down there. I cannot thank you guys enough. You guys are absolutely amazing. Let's go get right into this, because now we are in a situation where that the Falcons need a quarterback. I mean, let's be honest. They're going to need some form of a quarterback. They just can't go back into the next season with Ridder and Taylor Heineke and Logan Woodside on the roster. They're going to make a change, or they're going to make an upgrade to that position. And my thing is, what do we do with what we have? Are we going to, blow the whole thing up? Are we going to keep a player or two? What player is that? Now, for me, honestly, I would like for them to keep Desmond Ridder. I just think I think he can be an asset for the team. I honestly think he can be a QB1 in the NFL. I don't think he's necessarily a terrible quarterback. I just think that he's made too many. I think he made too many mistakes for this team in particular to actually take a spin on him. I still feel that that his own he kind of got in his own way. He made some errant throws. Now, don't get me wrong, he's made some good throws, but he made some errant throws that absolutely killed the game. And those things are unacceptable. You cannot have a quarterback on the field who makes those type of mistakes. Even he said it himself that these type of mistakes are unacceptable. He don't understand what he was thinking when he made some of these throws. And it could be chalked up to a lot of things. It could be him actually going out there for the first time under that playbook or that play scheme, and him basically learning on the fly in real time. Even though he was here for a whole year, still just learn on the fly. It could be the actual play calling itself was pretty much just that bad. I mean, we all know what gets Coach Arthur Smith going. It's the run game. You can look at Ryan Tannehill. And you know what? And the more I thought about this, when you look at Ryan Tannehill in the situation that he was in, Tannehill was throwing interceptions just as bad, especially at the latter part of his tenure with the Titans. I mean, you go look at the AFC Championship game. Some of those throws look just like what Ridder threw. So is it the scheme? And we can say it's the player. I don't know. I know for me personally, I really feel that his time is pretty much up. I would want him to be around to be a quarterback because there's a lot to work with there, and this is where Zac Robinson comes in. But I just don't think he's a good enough to be a QB1. I think he's good enough to be a mediocre, above average quarterback, definitely a backup. But I just don't think that he's going to be the guy that can lead a team. He has all the traits. It's just the decision making when you get to the point of attack, when you actually on the field making certain throws and certain decisions, those things can be detrimental. Now, does Zac Robinson fix that? Can he fix that? I think with his offensive mind and what he brings to the table from that tree, that Kyle Shanahan tree, it's absolutely possible that he can fix it. There's no doubt in my mind that he can. Will they invest the time into doing it? I don't think they will. I'm going to be honest, I don't think they're going to do it. They're probably going to go with a veteran. They're probably going to go with somebody in the draft. And they're probably going to, pretty much put their eggs in that basket. Now, what Desmond Ridder needs to do is he need to work his ass off. And that's one thing I know that he can do. That's one thing I'll say about Desmond. He's a hard worker. He's done a lot to get his game to where it is. Based on him coming from Cincinnati to where he is now, I think he's done a good job of trying his best to become a quarterback in the NFL. I just think you made some mistakes that are, I think they were just magnified because of when did they happen. I mean, you look at, the Lions game. You look at the Jaguars game. You look at the Commanders game. God, these things are starting to pile up. You look at the fumble against the Titans. You can go look at the Panthers game, like the game that put everything on the spotlight was that Panthers game. Like, why did you throw that pass? And then you also can look at the Saints game. Like when we came out of halftime, we was rolling, and then Tyrann Mathieu. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit of it. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot. It really is a lot. And if they're willing to put the time in to try to get, if they're going to try to get Desmond Ridder back in form where he could be a guy that can, make things happen, it's going to be some work. He's going to have to put in the work. They're going to have to put in the work. But at the same time, they're sitting here like, Zac Robinson's already, I'm pretty sure the entire staff is kind of looking like, what are our options at quarterback? Especially they're drafting so high in the draft and so much movement possibly could be there. They can get a legit franchise quarterback if things fall the way they want to. And it may be no time or maybe no value into investing Desmond Ridder. At the end of the day, what Desmond Ridder's going to have to do is, look, if you're on this roster, you better show up to practice and play like you are, or show up to training camp and act like you're QB1 if you don't want a rookie to take your job. Or if you don't want your veteran to come in to take your job. That's pretty much like the only hope for Ridder at this point, is that's what he's going to have to do. Now, there's been a quote by Zac Robinson. I mean, this has been like almost 2 weeks ago about what he said about what he wants in a quarterback. And he said, basically it was like, whether it's a pocket guy or whether it's a guy that can move around a little bit, we're just looking for the best guys that what we can do. So it's almost open to anybody. Also, he said, certainly, the guys that are here, we're evaluating everybody. So Taylor and Desmond, we're looking at those guys. All options are on the table. Now, I don't know how much weight you could put into that. If you get a quarterback that can actually, run your offense and you are really believing in him, whether it be a veteran or a rookie, you jump at that opportunity. Now, as far as these two quarterbacks that are on the roster, I will get rid of Taylor Heineke. Thanks, for your services, but there's a little bit more upside with Ridder, even though all the turnovers that he had, there's still more of an upside there. And with that being said, I would take my chances on him as well as bringing in a veteran or drafting another quarterback. What I would do personally, if it was up to me, I would try to move up and get a player, try to get a quarterback, or if Michael Penix is really there, you could probably trade back and get some more assets and still get Michael Penix Later on in the draft, 6th, 7th round, or whatever the case may be, you go try to get a third quarterback. I don't know how you feel about Logan Woodside, but I would get the top quarterback, and I'll probably get somebody on the back end around the 6th or 7th. Like I talked about late last week. If there's a Spencer Rattler there in the 5th, 6th, 7th round, I would take a spin on him. If there's Talua Tagovailoa there, I would take a spin on him. Because it's open. The position is open. It's wide open. So you even if you bring a veteran in, you still bring another guy in here, and let those guys compete. And that's what I would do. You can't have too much of this type of. You can't have too much of this. You can't have too much when it comes to this type of problem. You can't. So that's what I would do. I would probably move up, try to get Jaden Daniels, try to get a Drake May, or bring in a veteran. I would try to do that. If Michael Penix is available later and you think you can get him later, I'll probably move back and get some more draft capital. But even if you do, or even if getting a veteran, but any of those scenarios, you get that quarterback. And if there's a quarterback later on, you bring another one in. Yes, get 2 quarterbacks in the draft, or get a veteran and bring another quarterback in. So you get rid of Heineke, you keep Ridder, you get the guy that's that you want from the get-go, and you turn right back around and get one later. And every man goes in and compete. Because whoever's on the bench, you're going to be good either way, even if it's one of these rookies. If you have a Spencer Rattler on the bench, that's a 5th rounder, he's just sitting there, he's going to learn from Zac Robinson. If the veteran can get in, everybody wins, because if you bring in a veteran, Ridder and the new guy can still learn. If you bring a rookie in, every man for themselves. You bring a rookie in, you get a rookie at the end of the draft, and you still got Ridder, and you let those guys compete. That's what I would do, regardless. Whatever the case may be, you still try to get another quarterback late in the draft. Because you just never know. What do you guys think? If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I think Zac Robinson could get something out of Ridder, but I don't know if that'll be the case. I just don't know. Y'all let me know what you guys think. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble, also on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. I can be followed on X at VFBaller. The website's firstandframerates.com. If you want to donate to the show, CashApp and PayPal links are below. CashApp is VFBaller20, and the PayPal link is down below. All right, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. Y'all take it easy and enjoy the rest of y'all day. Y'all be blessed. Peace.